You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
Yes, this is important on Liberia, and tonight is a very special night. We got a lot of information for you coming, and today is the 7th of May, 2024, meaning we've gone 5 months into the year, and it's soon going to be a split year. So let me say welcome to all of you, wherever you'll be joining us from tonight, from Europe, Africa, America, or anywhere across the globe. We want to say welcome to you. This is where we discuss the issues. We give our balanced opinions, disagree and agree. And of course, like we always say on the show, nobody's opinion is wrong, neither right. We give it as we see it. So tonight I'm going to have with me Paul the Lord Churuple, Jamal Kamara, Gartume, and if possible, Francis Mensah may be joining us. But together we'll be giving you a lot of information, and the information will range from politics to sports. And I'm more interested tonight. I'm more interested in the sporting bit, because we've always talk politics here, but I think we should also discuss sports, especially when the interest of our country is involved. So let me say, Paul, welcome to you.
Well, good evening, Linford. It's good to be back here, and I'm happy to be back on the bottom line and looking forward to the discussions tonight. You did talk about sports, and I'm happy because my beloved county, the all-powerful, the Lions of River G have done us a favor, and we are proud and jubilating. So it's good for the Lion to be in the house anyway.
Okay, and it's good as well, but we'll be coming to that part because there is something about the Lions that I didn't know. I didn't know it was a lot of people from Rio G County until after their victory. There, almost all the people I know they are from Rio G now.
No, but people from River G have unique names. So if you hear the Toe, the Wea, the Chorope, it just tell you that's the area they come from. So you don't have to find out where the name alone will tell you. See, so that's it. And River G have a lot of people because what happened? River G County has been caught up between 3 counties. So
yes, I was just about to ask you, where is it actually located?
It's okay. It's between Grangeda, Sano, and Maryland. River G just in the middle there. So that's how it is, and that it even extended. Our vice president, the part of Sano that he come from, me and he speak the same dialect.
Okay.
Yeah. So that and it extended as far as into Grand Crew. So River G is just sitting just there. Massive.
Is it located somewhere or any part of it touching the ocean?
No. It's in the middle. It's not touching the ocean. So if you want to go to the ocean, you have to go to Grand Crew, you have to go to Maryland, you have to go to Sino.
Why is it called River G?
Oh, so all of these areas, there's a river that pass over there. So the G River. So they talk about that. But they also closer to this park that we have in the southeast. Where you found we have a park almost like the safari in.
Is it the Sapo National Park?
The park, yeah, River G have a boundary with the park as well, so it's just sitting closely in there. But it's good so and in that area, let's bring guys on. I guess he ready. In there, this is where the lepers of Liberia sit. That's where there's a story that been told. Even my grandfather, they say he fought leper with his bare hands. So there's so many stories about the leper. So I don't know, although we be the lions, there's no lion in Liberia, so I don't know how Lofa came up with the thing, say they are lions, but something we'll discuss
Lofa,
later.
there is Lofa, because my brother works with national conservation, and they are mostly in the park. He spent almost 3-4 years working in Lofa recently, and he usually send me pictures of all the species, almost all the species, even elephant until now you can find in Lofa. I think 2022 they were able to capture a young baby elephant that somebody took, from the mom, and they were able to retrieve it. So those things are there, Paul, but it's just that.
No, the lion is not in Liberia.
Really?
No lion in Liberia. You have elephant, you have leopard, you have hippopotamus, you have I think one of the species between the two, crocodile and alligator, one of them, but now one is there. They're quite different. Yes, you're welcome, guys. With me, he been working in those places with NGO. He have lots to say to on this. The kind of, because we have, if you follow the global tradition, even in the old days when they're doing the war dance, you see the leopard. When they skin the leopard, they will put those things on. So when the warriors are coming to town, and most people didn't know that these are the real warriors, the people that can fight leopards with their bare hands. They just show it on the pitch that Lofa County, look, don't play with these guys. These guys were chasing football long before you got into it. So welcome, my brother. God told me, how are you today?
Welcome. Thank you, Lord Cholo Play. Thank you, the great Lim for Agon Bue. Yeah, so let me say congratulations to River G County, and congratulations, in fact, to the Southeast. So it was a match of Southeastern solidarity, full of Southeastern solidarity. And
we'll talk about it, Marcia. You'll start congratulating the people. So when we reach that, what we'll do. Paul, just kind of lay a background, because River G, I keep hearing about River G, and I've always wondered whether it was part of Maryland County or Sano, or so. But then I think I got a vivid description. I've been in that area that you're talking about. I've been to Sano, but
yeah, I think it was a territory that became a county later on.
Yeah. Oh, there was a territory between there, right?
That
was Festus, right?
It used to be called Lower Grand Jila. So what happened is it's just all the Lower Grand Jila, and then the people from Maryland, they will say the seaside global and bush global, because people the interland part, that is where it's referred to today as River G. So it's extended as far as Grand Crew. So Mirabro, I met Mirabro in Liberia once, and when she called my name, she said, "You speak global?" I said, "Yes." But Mirabro, the part of Grand Crew she come from, they also speak like the part of River G I come from. So it's like my vice president, Jeremiah Kuhn. The part of the place he come from, we speak the same dialect. So that's how it is. It's massive. So if you want, I think the global tribe is the third largest tribe in Liberia, if you follow the history of it. So they are massive. So they're all over the place. But anyway, this way.
Yeah, okay. But we'll play our interview of music, and then we'll come back, then we'll go into our business. We'll talk about our sports today. And there's something interesting about the sports too. Liberia is getting on the map with the track and field. So we'll also look at that. But
absolutely.
Yeah, let me say welcome to you guys, and we hope that we can have a wonderful time tonight. In the meantime, we'll take our short break, and then we share the show. Then when we come back, we'll move on, and I think God to make will be taking over the show tonight.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta whip us more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lots of us. The government betray us. So much. I say The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, you got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. With the promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us.
You know, these people will always fool us. They will always lie to us. But at the same time, we too, I think they have fooled us enough that we become fools. Sorry to say that, because we complain about them. They fool us. We turn around, we vote for them. Then they fool us even more. Then we come back again. Then they fool us or then we come back again. So, you know, we can't blame them. But like I said, tonight we're going to have a very interesting show. And we're going to go through the newspapers. We hope Jamal can come on. And we'll be going through the newspapers, and then we'll look at sports as well. And we'll go to the major story that we have tonight, and that has to do with the document, the War and Economic Crimes Code document. So that's what we're going to be looking at tonight.
Right. We'll be looking at the document tonight. And so, guys, who's going to take us through of this program tonight? Who will be hosting us? Mr. Guys, Augusto Tolman. It's all yours. Take us home. What's going on?
Okay, folks in Radio Land, if you're listening to us via our online radio, the Bottom Line Liberia, and This is the Facebook and YouTube podcast. It's called The Bottom Line Discussion. So catch us quickly so you be informed and you follow us with our topics today. And I have here today in studio Lord Paul Cholople, and I have also the Vikings Linford Agongue, and I'm seated here in Germany, your presenter, Augustus Gartume. Yeah, gentlemen, yeah, you say welcome, and I say welcome also from Germany. And today, our major discussion will circle around the all important establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. And thousands of people doubted that President Joseph Human Boyka would have put pen to paper to establish these courts so that people who committed atrocities during the Civil War in Liberia can be prosecuted. So, folks, we are here today to discuss that. We will also be looking into other issues, and we run our normal activities where we go through the daily newspapers in Liberia, but major headlines. That's what we're going to be bringing you as well. But, guys, that's it. The major thing Paul Cholople was waiting for, Lord Paul Cholople has been waiting for, is here now. The all-important establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court. In just less than a week, President Boyka has put pen to paper. So let's hear you guys. What's your take on it? What do you foresee coming? And what perspective and progress you expect for Liberia at this stage?
Guys, I think we have to dissect the paper that he signed. That paper, I was disappointed in it completely. It was something that I was looking forward to. I had a bottle of Jack Daniel for over 4 months now. I kept my Jack Daniel, been keeping it and hoping to have drank it in a very relaxed and jubilant way, but it didn't happen. When I read the document, I went over it back to back, and it didn't make no sense to me. So we know that both houses have a resolution on this, but to find out that the document is saying now they're going to establish another group that will be reporting. So we're going nowhere. It's just in cycle. So I hope Francis was on the program today. Francis told me, say, you're Jack Daniel, you never open it. And I think Francis was right. This is a vicious cycle that these guys were just playing game with the Liberians. Nothing in it are going to establish War and Economic Crime Court. They're going to establish the agency that will report to him, report to the Justice Ministry, and then later on it will go back to the host for a redress. Then the host will send it back. But then this government will be gone. It's not going to happen under this government. I just can't see it. And I'm disappointed. I don't know what you guys think, but my Jack Daniel, I'm going to give it to somebody else to have it. I'm disappointed. Nothing going to happen.
Carry to Germany.
I think I will.
But let's hear from Linford. I will come back to your disappointment because the document speaks volume. And for you to be this disappointed in something you waited for 85 to 95 days, and it is at the 100th days of the entire process, and you're disappointed. We'll come back to your disappointment. Let's go to Linford. Go ahead.
Well, you see, the document, for me, when I first got the document, I read it, and what I was looking for was the intent that this document seeks to achieve. And the intent of the document is that a war and economic crimes code will be established. This is the common thing that we all agree on. Okay? That all Liberians, that the international community, the Liberian government, all the major players, even some of the warlords, they sign. Those in authority, they sign. But Prince Johnson, I think Yaya Nimble signed as well. So, see, there is no doubt about it that the idea, the concept is feasible. Everybody agreed that we'll have a war in economic crimes. But whatever the content of the document is, I think that's where a lot of people also have doubt. And like what Paul was saying, I think Paul can help me here. I think during the Sierra Leonean War, the establishment of the Sierra Leonean War Crimes Court, I think it wasn't the government of Sierra Leone that set up the whole thing. The government of Sierra Leone did write the United Nations, okay, and I think at the time was Kofi Annan. Okay, so when they wrote the United Nations, the idea was that okay, we want to establish, we want our people to get justice. So we want a war and economic crimes code. But we, Sierra Leonean, when I mean we at that time, they were, I'm just speaking for them, they did not have the capacity to do it. So they wrote the United Nations to see how, in fact, that was the first of its kind on the West African coast. So they wrote the United Nations, and it was the United Nations that worked along with other international partners to establish the court. But here in Liberia, we are doing it the other way. It is our government that is going to appoint the executive director, and that executive director has been given a special mandate by our government to say, you will work. Your work will continue until we feel that the War Crimes Code is up and going before your work can come to a standstill. And remember that this government that we have is not a monarchy. They are not in power all the time. You have 6 years mandate. After 6 years, we'll go to election, and the possibility that you win is very slim. So you cannot give a group a mandate that seems to be like forever, because and nobody can also say that the mandate that the executive director and his secretary will have to establish a war crimes code is a 10-year position, because it didn't go through that process. Okay, the laws of the 10-year positions are not guarding this particular group. And in fact, Liberia or the government should not be the one to be setting up this thing, because this is a special court. The laws of Liberia do not guide this court. This court will have its own set of rules and laws that is very, very peculiar and special to it. So if the Liberian government establishes this court, who has the jurisdiction? Is it the court or the government? Because I heard somewhere where the justice minister is mentioned. The justice minister should have, or ministry should have nothing to do with this. And the president is saying that there will be a committee set up that will kind of report. No. So I think for me, the content of the letter is where people have problem. But the general idea that we all agree, the entire nation agree, down to the lawmakers agree, that we should have war and economic crimes code, I think is welcoming for me.
Yeah, so I think so while reading, I think I've come across Locholo play confusion in it. So somewhere in the document it says the tenure of this code, the duration of this code shall come to an end. So the establishment of a functioning code, a special war crime code in Liberia that will also fight that will be for anti-corruption, an anti-corruption code in Liberia. I think that's where Locholo play confusion comes from. But my own thing, in as much as I started with our colleague Francis on the establishment of this code, that we shouldn't expect it anytime soon, or we shouldn't expect a full functioning code anytime soon, is based on the fact that these major factors involving the matters in Liberia were also particular or has stake in the establishment of this code. So it's like looking at your leg and shooting your leg, and you still depend on the leg to take steps. And we said it here on the show that women worker as well will be charged with the responsibility, will be left with the responsibility to prosecute people who will be committing economic crimes, even in his own government. But my own part of this part that is confusing to people is that it's saying the court will be established, but this court will come to an end when the government herself should have established another court. It does not mean this court will not come to function. This court will function for. So you can still drink your Jack Daniel. That's what I think.
All right. So, guys, the thing simple. And Alan White had an interview on SKTV. This woman, I don't know, I can't remember her name, Van Schacht, who is the U.S. prosecutor for human rights. She visited Liberia. She also had a. The thing is, there was an executive order lying on the president's desk. And that executive order, we were told, the several model that were used, because what the several model was, the President Kaba at the time sent a letter to the UN Secretary General saying they want a war crime code to be established in Sierra Leone. That format that they use is lying on the president's desk. So what this letter is saying, the order that they gave, we will do it our way. No, you're not funding it. The money is not coming from your pocket. That's for one. So the money is already waiting for you to follow that format. The United Nations now is waiting for this letter, but now it seems to me that they want to drag it the other way around. Let's do it the Liberian way. By the time it comes to the 6 years, but then maybe someone will be dead. Will not face what our perpetrator, the perpetrator will not see them in court. They will be gone. So they're dragging their feet on this. Look, let's read that letter carefully. Because the Sierra Leone model, they have nothing to do with the Sierra Leone government. None. If they establish this group, they will have to report to the Justice Ministry and also be reporting directly to the president. That had nothing to do with the model that Sierra Leone used. So if you listen to Alan Ware's interview, he said the president had the letter on his desk. We can hear you, Linford.
We'll play Alan Ware interview, but if on count one, part A, it says here that the executive director's office shall conduct research and studies and growing therefrom, that is the result of those research and studies, in consultation with international partners, select a model of an international tribunal for war crimes, including the jurisdiction and status in one of but status of the it should be status of the Special War Crimes Court for Liberia, consistent and in harmony with international models that have been used for similar trials of war crimes. So, Paul, what are you saying about the Sierra Leone model? I just want to read that part. So, and that is on count 1A, point A. Now, so this code is not just going to be one kangaroo code that the Liberian government will say, okay, you'll go bring John, Dick, and Harry, let them be there. And what puzzles me also is when they mention about the Justice Minister, because the Justice Minister will have not the name of the code. It says special court, special. It got nothing to do with to do with Liberian laws. The laws of Liberia will not, in fact, somewhere in that document again, they also mentioned that the economic crime, the economic part of that court will operate on a special set of laws that the present laws that we have on the books, on the criminal laws that we have on the books now, okay, will be separate from that particular set of laws that the economic part will operate on. So I don't know why they keep missing your things. The partners are saying that we want this thing to be modeled, and anything that is a model or model of anything is a picture of it. Okay, so like our country people, let me tell our Liberian people. Last time we discussed this thing here. The Liberian people, our country people say you can sit down on the old mat to plant a new one. And what is the reason for that? The reason is that this old one will teach you how to go by or about plan a new one.
So Linford, I think this is what Paul is trying to.
Somebody got echo. Jima is you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is what Paul is trying to say, right? Since this count that you just read, this portion, this section that you just read, stated that the court, the executive director of this court, is with the responsibility to conduct research, legal research, within the confines of our law and international law, where every other judicial process is involved. Now, Paul's point is, what if this research takes the next 3 years? Just research takes the next 3 years. That means you've gone 4 years out of work at 6 years.
No, but this is why
what if after research he has to report, because it's a their form, the growing their form that is reporting now to every judicial system to form this model. So what if just creating that form and to select the kind of model for Liberia takes the next 2 years? That means Bweka is out, and that means even people that cause economic crimes in his government will not be prosecuted. People before his government will not be prosecuted. The government before that government will also not be prosecuted. That means it's a show play, it's a charade that they have established in a professional format.
I have raised this point over and over. I even did a podcast on it myself. I have raised this point. The thing is, the government of Liberia is not an autocracy. It's now a monarchy. We do have a government that is in place forever and ever. Amen. Paul is president today, tomorrow I can come and win Paul. Somebody can come and win me. Okay? So 6 years is not enough. Because the bureaucracy that they're creating in this thing here, where they gotta go make research first, and then they come back with results from there, then they set out the code. After the sample of all of code, it's simple. Go right out to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone did a successful job. Sierra Leone is next door. You don't need a rappling. You can walk and go to Sierra Leone. Right before you can walk. Say your career. What a model you all use. Okay? And it'll be simple. But they want to create a lot of bureaucracy, which will drag things on. And that's what I pointed out earlier on, that the mandate of the executive director's office alone is questionable. That even the tenure positions that we have in Liberia, they got time frame attached to them. Okay, they're not just working indefinitely. They say that 5 years. Okay, after 5 years, then you can be changed. Okay, but this one, they say the executive director and his secretariat, your go work. When we feel that you people are doing enough job and the court is up and running, which is time indefinite, then your mandate is over. So what if they will take the rest of the 6 years that Bweka will be in power to be doing our research and studies, and then another new government comes and say, no, listen, we're not satisfied with this executive director. We got to change him. Because he's not on a tenure position. They can change him anytime. So if you give him time indefinite to work, at least let it attach, because that will speed up the process. If you attach time frame to it and say, no, you got 4 years to work, or you got 3 years to work. Okay, this is a job. This is a job. You can't get him at time.
Daniel will be rotting by then.
So
I wanted
to hold you there.
One of the shortcomings in that document is the unlimited time that they gave the executive director's office to work. That's very wrong. Give the time frame. Because if you get leave it open, the people can go sit down to the office, whole day, drink coffee, drink beer, 2 years gone, 3 years gone, they say, we'll stay working. Okay? So when are we going to have this war crimes code? So you give the time frame. If guy, you didn't work with a project before. So if you read a project proposal, you always have to attach time frame to it. If you work within that time frame, and you know that you cannot accomplish what you wish to accomplish, then you can revisit the townland, okay? I think there is something called Gantt chart. You know, when you're writing project, there's something called Gantt chart, where that's a townland right there. You follow it. If you know you can't make it, you extend it. The chart, it's a chart. You can extend the chart. So you can't just give the people timing definitely your goal. When we feel that the code is up and running, then your job comes to an end. No.
Now,
Okay, so
Linford,
we have
guys, one
do we
sec.
have Jamal? Do we
One
have
sec.
Jamal now?
He's coming. One sec. You know, if we look at the resolution that came from the lower house and the upper house, the lower house passed a resolution. I went to the upper house. The upper house modified it. Exactly what the upper house said, that's what is in this document here. You see? So that signing where Prince Johnson, they all knew that they would just sign to fool people and just lift their hope all high.
And so why you think that is like that? Is it because most of the people who play major parts in the war, most of the people who have been named as corrupt people in past government are still in the upper house? You think that's a reason?
You see the war crime part is not as bad as the economic part. It's that economic part that the reason why this document they wrote it to play delay 30 for it not to happen. I'm being honest here. If this guy wanted to do it from the day that Allen Webb appeared to Liberia and met the president, say this is the model that we use in Sierra Leone. Follow this model, we'll pay the money, the code will be established here. And they went all in cycle with this. So that means they don't want this.
What is the way forward?
The way forward,
I'm not doing your work. I'm just asking. I
think the way forward here, it will be some kind of drastic action that the Liberians themselves will have to take before it comes, or maybe since the U.S. has spent $4 billion in Liberia and their money went in V, maybe they could put sanction on Liberia. Then it will wake the people to do something. But what did this document show? It's not going to go anywhere. They just willing to rub sugar on our lips that I will not be able to drink my Jack Daniel to see people that Prince Johnson going to court. It's not going to happen, my brother. It is what it is. Liberia is doomed. Let's forget about the war and economic crime code. It's not going to happen. They just fool us. And I'll go back to Takunje music. The people fool us, they lie to us. It's exactly what it's doing. And that music was made under the UP government. Now, the UP government in power again, they start lying to their citizen. Omer Burka, he playing two-faced with us. And if I don't drink my Jack Daniel, man, that Omer, I will go after him. Any mistake he made, I'll become by lying to us that he was going to establish a thing and come fool us in the end. It's not going to happen in Liberia. We're doomed.
But Paul, you think I think you shouldn't be bitter. I think you shouldn't be bitter with Omer Boyka because you anticipated this signature. You anticipated this that the Omer will put pen to paper.
He the one initiated it. He called Ali Ware and all of you come. I'm going to establish a thing. He left for our hope or her, and then in the end to just dash it like that. No, I have to be better with him.
You see, I'm still having problem with you because 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we sat here. I was the only person among three of you who said the government will sign this thing, and you said you will not sign it. He signed
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you are still. I tried to explain to you the content of that document can be if you read. I think the last part of it, it says the government will not interfere with anything. The content. This is a process. This is not a Bible. Even the Bible. Yeah, even the Bible was written long time in Hebrew or something, but they rewrote it into 3 different languages again. And people say even rewriting the Bible. But I will tell you that for me, what I'm satisfied with is the concept behind this whole thing that the nation, Liberia, and its people have agreed after almost 35 years or 30 some more years of war that we didn't hear about, that people are going to sign the document. It's signed for war crimes. This is my part.
No. Leaford, don't sugarcoat the thing in a very nice way. Don't sugarcoat it. The thing here, I keep telling you, the document that they signed, where they're going to establish the director, the new director to fund this, to go through the justice ministry, go to the president, is all to just rub sugar on people's lips.
That's why I also refer you to the document. There is somewhere in the document that says that nothing will interfere with it.
Look, my brother, the thing here, it will have to go back. They knew people that will do their research. They will come with legislatures. It will go to the House for the House to approve, or it will have to go back to the president for that time they take it. Someone will not be around again.
And
that's
the point. Okay,
so that's what you're talking about.
But let me ask you. And you think the international partners that are spending that money will just be sitting and watching and all? Let me tell you, this is war crime. They say international court. International. They didn't say Liberian court. There is a way. There is a way to make this thing happen.
Okay, guys. So can get it. They said they may have a template on his desk to just sign and go to the UN. UN will bring people, but Liberian people decided no, it's not going to happen that way. We're going to do it our Liberian way. That our Liberian way now,
it will not
that's
work.
The one that it will drag.
It's not going to work. I'm
so
telling you,
the
only way it will work if Liberia has the capacity, the financial muscle. They do not have it. The people who spending, no, he who pays the piper. If I am paying you and you blowing the pipe, I can tell you, sing the other song here. Okay,
my man.
So guys, let's see it from this point. Let's see it from this point that Liberia has her own justice system, in as much as this has to do with our own international partners. But Liberia also, it is our case. We're asking for help, yes, for you to help us conduct this, but it is our case. So I think in the old man's wisdom, mind you, Paul, you might get frustrated now that it is different, but it has a whole lot to deal with. One, there are old wounds that they have to look at. Number two, there are new establishment of different kind of war theories and different kind of war investigations. Example, there are other factors that play part in the war that even our international partners have started helping us to prosecute them. We all know the story. In the Netherlands, there were people there they've been going after. In the UK, there's someone also, other two persons also the UK has tried to prosecute as well. So all of these things happening, our own legal people back home and the president himself has said, okay, there is no need for us to get into a rush. In as much as we want, our international partners are willing to support us, but there's no need for us to get into a rush. Let's take it step by step and achieve this goal. So I'm looking at it from the other side of the coin.
We're very good at writing language and we're very good at acting well. If you want this to happen, they knew that they didn't want it to happen, but to lie to the Liberian people, say, vote for us, we'll get this thing happening. That's the whole bottom line of it. So all this charade that we'll establish our own thing, it's not going to happen. They will drag it. At the end of the day, we'll have new people coming in, and those new people that will come in, it will be the same old people that will go elect. It will never happen. So let's not sugarcoat it. I'm going to bust my jaw down. Maybe I'll bring it to Germany so you guys can share with me, because it's not going to happen. That's the bottom line. And so before Jamaica, let's just play. What happened? There's echo. There was an interview done on SKTV with Alan White for our audience. What he proposed.
Welcome, Jamal.
Thank you.
Rode.
She might just lower your monitor, your microphone level.
Okay, guys. Jamal. you say something? It's not echoing, but you're very low.
Yeah, that's why I see the guys actually low my phone, my stuff. That's why you hear me now.
Can you increase the volume some more?
Yeah, I'm okay. You okay? Do you hear me?
A little more.
Much better. Okay, 1 second. What about this? Okay.
Definitely. We can stick to that.
All right.
There's when we speak, echo follows. So I don't know what.
I don't have an echo. Is the echo still coming up?
No, when we speak.
I don't have an echo for mine. Okay, then I'll lock out then. Let me lock out, guys.
Yeah. Go back in.
Is there bad? Is there echo?
We can tell until we speak.
Yeah. What about now? Is there echo?
Paul, can you say something?
The echo is there.
It's still there.
Well, anyway, so guys,
I think you can roll out video.
I need to roll this video. Let our audience listen to Aliway, and then we can take you from it.
I was the former chief of investigations for the United Nations Special Court for Sierra Leone, where we were able to successfully indict and convict a number of people for war crimes in Sierra Leone. If you remember that bloody 10-year civil war, and one of which was former Liberian President Charles Taylor for his aiding and abetting in engagement in war crimes in Sierra Leone. And although I saw a lot of atrocities during that time frame that we were able to deal with in Sierra Leone, we weren't able to address the atrocities that occurred in Liberia, which was unfortunate. But our jurisdiction left us in Sierra Leone. The reason why we were able to prosecute Charles Taylor is because of the direct linkage in aiding and abetting the Revolutionary United Front. And I promised the Liberians that I'll be back and to help you bring justice for the 250,000 people that were killed during the multiple civil wars in Liberia. And I've kept my pledge, and we're very close to achieving that. And so one of the platform issues that President Boyka had run on was that he was going to bring the War and Economic Crime Court to Liberia. And before he got elected and after he got elected, he personally reached out to me and asked me if I would come to Liberia and help him set this court up, establish it. And of course, the conditions were that it had to be set up under international standards, and it had to be set up in Liberia so that people could witness justice, see it firsthand, just like the people in Sierra Leone did, and also which allowed the restoration of the rule of law. If you've never seen what the rule of law looks like or what accountability looks like, then it's new to you. What the people in Sierra Leone got to see is what they had never seen, at least in a long time, is what justice looks like, and that means no one is above the law. And those people that committed atrocities, those that bear the greatest responsibility, not everybody, but those who bear the greatest responsibility, would be held to account. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay, thank you, Dr. White. Really quick, I'd like to jump into the conversation. Some Liberians are confused about the most recent tip that surfaced with you and President Joseph Yuma Boakai. Mm-hmm. My question to you is, how authentic is that tape? And what do you say in the context of those who are still jittery, confused, or scared about this War and Economic Crime Court situation?
Well, first of all, that video is 100% authentic. And this was agreed upon with President Boyka. And what this was about is to document him bringing justice to Liberia. This did not happen in Sierra Leone. When President Kabal requested the establishment of the court, all the things that President Boyka needs to do, it was not recorded early on. And so people did not get to see this as it was unfolding. So as we discussed this, there was a documentary film company that does this. And so I asked him, I said, this would be, I think, good for the people of Liberia to see this from the very beginning and throughout the process, to which he agreed. And of course, they have to fund these things. So they have to do trailers and those types of things. So this was always going to come out. There was no secret about it. It was just when it was recorded, this ultimately was going to come out because it's a part of a trailer that's going to be used to fundraise for these types of things so that they can continue to tell the story of this court. Your second question is, all I would do is refer to the people to what we did in Sierra Leone. Keep in mind, Sierra Leone came out of civil war. Hostilities ceased in January of 2002. So the country was very raw. It was completely devastated. It was ranked 192 out of 192 as the worst places to live and work for health reasons, all those types of things. And we heard the same arguments back then. They had, do you remember the Civil Defense Force, Commodores? Okay. Right. Well, we were told that that the country wasn't ready for this, although the people wanted it, because people, and you have other people threatening similar activities, said that the country will come unraveled, will revert back to civil war. I have 10,000 members of my Civil Defense Force militia that if something happens, the worst, the country's going to be turned upside down. Well, guess what happened? The rule of law is more powerful than the barrel of a gun. Okay. Liberia is much more stable, and the region, even though there are issues, is much more stable now, because back then there were a lot of porous borders and people really didn't know who was who. People were fleeing, rebels were fleeing left and right, Ivory Coast, Guinea, so forth and so on. That's not the case now. Those countries don't want people to flee from justice, that they might be facing justice, and they're not going to let you harbor and hide in their country. So, and I can tell you this, ECOWAS, in discussions with them, they will support it. And most importantly, the U.S. government has pledged full support financially, technically, security, because that's the closest thing that we have to a former colony is the historical relationship that we have with Liberia, and one that's cherished. And when the Liberian people said that they wanted this, President Boykai said he wanted this, he asked me to come over. That did it to the U.S. government, that he was serious. He made a commitment to them, and most importantly, he made the commitment to the Liberian people. And then when they came over to verify that commitment, he said he supported this. He wanted to establish this War and Economic Crime Court. So all the pieces are in place. We're just waiting for him to sign the executive order to establish the Office of War and Economic Crime Court. Okay, that office was designed to facilitate the establishment of this court, to represent the government, to work with the legislature, to work with the various governments, the U.S. governments, international community, and others that want to support this, to include civil society. So,
okay, I think that was sufficient for us to use and analyze. But before we go into it, let's welcome our colleague, Francis Mensah. Mr. Mensah, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Welcome, guys. Thank you.
Okay, we just played we're doing our normal routine here on the program, but we just played the Allen White video because there were mixed feelings and mixed views on the pen to paper that fortunately anticipated from Oman Boyka. So his own doubt now lies with some of the sections of the document that is not giving him clear understanding as to what the mandates of these counts and sections from the document will implement for the court. One example, the duration or the tenure or the legitimacy of the executive director of the court. Number two, why must the court report to another court as per his understanding? So we were there until we had to go for the interview with Alan White. So what's
I
your
was
own take on
monitoring the
it?
show. I was monitoring from the back. I was, you know.
Ah, okay. Then that means you got it clear then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So guys,
as regards the video we just listened to, the very last part, Alan White said the president just need to sign the executive order. And that's the executive order he signed. So this is where I say I hope. The general concept is sign this executive order. And the executive order is executive order number 131. Okay? So whatever the content is, it can be edited, as the process continues. Because this is not an event to say the war we're talking about, the war lasted for all the different wars, lasted for about 13 to 14 years. Okay? But this year, the process leading to this peace or the justice for the victims is a process. You have to do it step by step. This is just, I think it's just a declaration. Forget about the content of that. It's just a declaration that the government or Vaka is saying that, yeah, we agree to have the war in economic crime school. This is not what the court will do. It's not a judgment. It's not a judge speaking. We agree. That's the point right there. We agree. Vaka is saying that, yes, I as president, I have signed this executive order that the war in economic crime school should come. Whatever war he put there is not important. When the people are ready to establish the court, they will not go by our Liberian. It's a special court, meaning it's just a military tribunal. Military tribunal, their code is different. In that way, you go call one jury, you can say that you know what happened. No, straight up. So this code here, I mean, for me, I'm convinced that the war and economic crimes will come to Liberia. When? I don't know. But
Francis,
so Linford is convinced that the court will come.
I want to tell Francis thank you for letting me know many months ago that Jack Daniel will be there forever. Francis, thanks. It's not going to happen. Thank you so much. The thing is clear and simple. Linford said the content, I agree. But this thing here, they said we found the Sierra model. There's a template there. It's on his desk. Sunday, you sending the letter to UN. You're not going to settle executive director.
No, they're not about template. They say he should sign the executive order that the court will come.
Yes, the executive order going. That's not that letter leaving you. It going to the UN secretary.
No, but the executive order, Paul, you mixing this here up. The executive order is not a letter that is there we send to the UN. Yes, the executive order is that. Listen,
okay, guys. So
there are two different things.
Let's
UN, myself, I'm in support of what you're trying to say. That Liberian government is supposed to write a UN, but for the thing here is just to declare. Executive order is command. He is commanding that yes.
Display the number. Somebody want to call in. Display the number.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to write the number now.
So, Linford, Paul. Before, while you display the number, let's hear from Francis.
Oh, look, Paul, the executive order 131 was clear and unambiguous. It says that the president has signed the war and economic crimes code to go in effect. He has established a ministry, an office.
Yeah.
And that's the process. When the office is set up, the president will immediately ask for assistance outside. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the United Nations, because donor countries or donor organizations around the world, European Union, whosoever he writes will come in with the support. And I think I'm just thinking hypothetically that one of the topics that he will go, the discussions that you'll be having behind the scenes in Dallas, will be it will be surrounding the War Economic Grounds Code support as well. How genuine it is, So let us be a little bit optimistic here, because this thing, this code, we have been yearning for it for years. I want you to drink that Jack Daniel, so I wanted that. I want that bottle open.
Thank you, Francis. Be optimistic, Paul.
I will bring my
Paul, you
Jack
need to
Daniel
be
Germany.
more optimistic.
It's not going to happen. It's the
This is not. Paul,
So,
this is
but
not
listen, guys. Something I gather from Dr. Allen White, right? Something I gather from Dr. Allen White, that Paul, you should listen to. Play the tape again when you are alone. Allen White said, in the manner in which Sierra Leone approached the War Crime Code is not the same format Liberia has used. And I brought my attention to all of these ways that are mentioned in the code establishment, or in this order. Like Francis said, one is to establish a framework for administrative purpose. Number two is for that establishment to implement count one, which Linford said to you earlier on, conduct research and other things. But for Sierra Leone, they were still fresh and they wanted a code. So it was easy for their president to pick phone, hey, Bush or Obama or whoever, I need this to happen now. And everything was done in a rush. Liberia is taking her own time to organize it. So step one, we've passed it. I think it's time for you to maybe turn the stopper of the Jack Daniel maybe to 90 degrees, that it can halfway be open. You should be proud of that. Do we have the caller now?
Somebody's phone is ringing there, not my phone. But just in case anybody wants to call again, the number is on your screen, it's scrolling on your screen, but I also posted in a comment section. But I can repeat it. It's a WhatsApp number, so I think somebody is getting a call. Is it me? Not me.
I think it's Paul.
So the number is +47. That's the country code. The country code is +47. Number 99.
We have a caller here.
50882. Yeah.
Okay, we have a caller from Paul's end.
Yeah. Caller, can you call your name and what are you calling from?
My name is Pastor Dr. Ishmael Habib Rahim, and I'm joining you guys from Germany.
Can you guys
welcome to the show?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Dr. Rahim. You've been following for how long now? And if you're following from the beginning, what's your point?
Yeah, there is something that is missing for the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Code in Liberia. So if you look at my comments, since the War Crime Code thing started, we sit down and study it on our own, but people just look at it from one angle. They only look at Charles Taylor Prince Johnson informed. But when you look at it keenly, the very people, we shouldn't be hypocrite to ourselves, we Liberians. The very people today, like Ali Ware on SKTV and what have you, they broke a lot of treaties to come and bring war to Liberia to our people. 200,000 or whatsoever people died. Then the facilitator, when you look at your panel code, it will tell you that the person who financed the war in Liberia carried greater crime, and the person who had a physical gun carried another crime, and the person who distributed arm to encourage you to hold arm, they also carry another crime. But just look at the TRC report. The main person that we know, the very American and any justice that we know that need is not mentioned on this thing. So to me, I'm talking from my own point of view and the case study. So to me, this war crime code is just a witch hunt. It's just a mere witch hunt that they want to get rid of certain people because of political discourse. Where were they treated as Sunday? Let's look at the Mano Roa Treaty. Where did the people use? Let's look at the OAU. Let's look at the ECOWAS Treaty. If you look at the cross-border into Liberia, it was from the ECOWAS country, which were Ivory Coast. Let's go back to the UNIMO war. It was from the Mano Roa country, which is Semelun. And all of those treaties said that they should get an elected government in support of the country. Where was Chancellor Inje? You know, we shouldn't be fool with Liberians. These people, according to what my brother was saying the other day, where his name Eli Snow, he was 100% right. For the international community to have the guts to want to support all of those money, when we don't have good roads, we don't have good school, we don't have adequate water, any our education system is damaged. But they are waiting to pump all of this money into war crime only because they want to get rid of certain people that never.
I have a question for Rahim. Rahim, I have a question for you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Do you support the establishment of a war and war crime? Let's forget about the economic thing. But do you support the establishment of war crime school for Liberia so that the 250,000 citizens of ours that died to get justice?
Yes, I support the war crime code in Liberia, but my thing is every party, they shouldn't look at it from one angle. Every party that was involved. So if you establish, Mr. Paul, if you establish, Lemfor, if you establish war crime code, do you know everybody who facilitate a commit crime? People could listen to Focus on Africa. People could get information to
but we have not, sorry, let me hold you again. We have not reached that part. The court is not judging anybody here. What we're saying is we should establish a school. When the court is on the ground, we got judges. Everybody now sit down. Then people will say, okay, they start pointing finger. Okay, you'll go bring John Brown. You'll go bring Peter. You'll go bring Bob.
Let me just hold you there.
Go ahead.
When the Christmas will geek, you will tell from the if. When the Christmas will be good, you will tell from the if. You think, what's the lady name? The lady, Massa, Councilor Massa. Even the TRC people with Jeru Vodio, they broke away because even their report was not transparent. So the thing is very glaring that they will compromise other people. Because the sake of peace, there were people who held that position that would never went to school. And we said because of reconciliation, name the authority there, Garan, rolling to a lot of people were into power.
Rahim, let me hold you there. Have you read the current order, Executive Order 131? Have you read it in totality? Number 2, that same executive order that is establishing the War and Economic Crime Code reference to implement the reports from the TRC. So a lot of what you've said, you've made sense, but a lot of what you said is embedded within this document and the purpose for establishing this code. So I really want to see your point as to where people are taking side or Liberians should not be fools, you know, because the code is not there yet.
Yeah,
it's just a way to establish the code. That's the process.
Very brilliant question. Yes, listen, Mr. Honorable Tommy. When Joseph Walker was coming to power, he gave a promise to the American government and the lobbyists, the Allingware and the Chris guy, that if he becomes president, that is conditional continue in English. If you make me president, I will establish the war crime code. Forgetting to know that okay, we know he was an all car parking in the garage, but he was the head of the Senate. he have a jurisdiction over the Senate as a vice president. Under the past 12-year-old that he served as vice president, a president of the Senate, and he did not press nothing. So he came back and told the American people, if you make me president or if I be president, I will establish the war crime code right there. It's a play for play. So which means he's not signing out executive order because in the interest of the Liberian people, he only signed an executive order because he made a promise to the international community that when he became president, he will sign a war crime code. So if we want to do this thing, we should.
Don't you think, in other words, that also is making promise to the Liberian people? Because people who have been victimized, some families who are alive today, they're still waiting for justice for their relatives who died during the war for nothing.
Thank you.
So that
listen to me, sir. Let me just conclude. Listen to me. I want to come on the platform to discuss the issue. There are a lot of us today. Let me speak in general. There are a lot of us today. We are in America. We are in Germany. We are something. We have become the benefactors of the same war. The same war that came to Liberia. And today we are crying for people. Everybody was affected. Either your somebody died, or your educational time was wasted, or your youth time was abused. So everybody was one way or the other. But the characters that you see that put in this war crime code, there are people who, because of the war crime code, if you need for Jerome further down to the floor sweeper doing the TRC, all of them use the TRC platform to go to America to have greener pasture. All of them, I can name them. I'm not talking about something I read in book.
Okay.
One thing about my discussion is something I work in government for 18 years.
Thank you.
I was privileged to work in government for 18 years with the same people. What if you talk about war crime code, for example, you will notice that they will not measure people who are government or inclusion during the 6-man council or the 7-man council. They brought a relative to serve in certain position because the factor they couldn't benefit. But the factors they are showing out today, they never benefited nothing. They were in the trap.
Thank you, Pastor Rahim.
Okay, Pastor Rahim. Okay, Pastor Rahim. It's nice having you on the show and sharing your thoughts with us. We hope to have you another time that you can lengthily have the time and the flow to yourself to tell us more and share your views and your thoughts on it. But until then, let's take leave of you so that we continue the show as planned as we have it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the time.
You're welcome.
So,
okay, guys. Do we have other callers or do we have comments that we can display before we can flip up to the same discussion, or we go to the headlines, the daily headlines? Before we go, let's welcome Jamal. Jamal, are you all set? You sound better. I don't think there's echo again, but increase your volume. You are low.
Much better.
A little more higher.
Okay. I think this is sound good, yeah? Am I coming through now?
Yeah,
you
better.
think it sound good, but it's not sounding good. You are very low still.
I'm sound now. I can go for.
Yeah, imagine wow.
Yeah, I just saw the brother devices giving him problem, but it is where it is. In the future, you should go to, there's a place in London here they call Harrow, and you can buy the best of equipment there. So I'll just say it is where it is. So friends say, guys,
computer.
No, but I think Jamal is okay now. I think Jamal is okay. Let's hear you one more time, Jamal. Then we go to.
I think we got a lot of most important things to discuss. So we need to
I can hear you.
Okay, we'll come back
No,
to
the
you,
bottom
Jamal.
line,
We'll come back to you while you're setting up. Linford, can we go to the daily?
Yeah, just before we go to the daily, I think we need to just give our final thoughts on this war crimes code thing. For me, I'll start with myself. I still have hope, and I want people to understand. I want to elaborate. There are a lot of people who are doubting, but I want you to understand that executive order is just a declaration or a command that yes, the president who have all this power have said that I will do this. Simple. So he will not be the judge, and everything what they wrote in that letter is only to pronounce that pronouncement. Okay, so all of what will happen will be determined by the executive director and the secretariat. They are the one that will design everything. So let's forget about the content of what was written in that executive order, and let's accept the concept that Liberians in Liberia or the government of Liberia has accepted to work on the idea of a war crimes court. And then they have the president has signed it. That's a whole thing. So if I was a journalist covering that story, my focus would be on the fact that the war crimes code have been signed. I'll not be looking at the I'll not be looking at what was written in a document. No. So let Liberians have hope. We say having echo Jima.
He's muted now. So let's hear you, Francis, before we go to Paul, because I know Paul got lots to say.
Look, guys, there's a few little points I like to make straight when the caller called in and said that the court is intended to go after people based on the political, ideology, and that is not true. I think it's this information that he's sharing, is unfair to the victims that he is claiming that should have justice. We know that the court will be set up, and at the time of the adjudication of the hearing of the court, people, those people will be invited. Those names that he claimed, and he says that those people are above the law, or maybe they are being cherry picked. Those people will be called. They will go there and explain themselves, and not for a particular person, Charles Taylor or Prince Johnson or whosoever. All the people name he called, the Ofuro Dia or whosoever, they will be called to give account of what they did. So I think, we shouldn't let it slide. We got a lot of people listening to us here around the world, and that is our duty and responsibility to make it right straight, to tell the people that what he said was not true. The court is intended to generally bring justice to Liberians from all around the world. Everybody who are involved, financial, what you call it, supporters, they all bear the greater responsibility, even the soldiers. So I just want to know to make some comments on what he said. Other than that, I think it's a way forward. The court will be established. The president has taken this right step. That's a median step, a median approach, and I believe that everything will fall in subsequently. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So the court will be established. Paul, let's hear you.
I don't think it will ever be established under this government. From what I've read, from my understanding, it's another playbook of a very crafty, smart executive order that was sent out. It's going to drag for years. We'll sit down here, we'll talk about it, and I pray that we all live for the next 6 years. This would not happen. The jurisdiction of this new director, when he is appointed to do their fax finding, it's going to drag on. So maybe it may not be some all lifetime. Most of our friends now keep falling and dropping every day dead. So I don't see this happening. It's just another unity party start of doing things. And I will refer this executive order to Takunje music. It's another lie. It's not going to happen. My Jack Daniel, I'll bring it to Belgium and I will share with you guys. The code not going to happen. It's just another crafty, intelligent, smart way of closing people's mouth. It's not going to happen. Period.
Okay, so that's the man Portugal play. He's having different view on the establishment of the court and the signature by President Boyka on the Executive Order 131. We will come back to the topic, but for now, we want to go through our daily newspapers in Liberia, major headlines, and Limpopo will bring that.
Let me see. I don't know. Paul, can you take down that video so we can make mistake? Okay. Jamal, you in the back, you hearing us? Jamal have most of the paper, but let me get pull on one paper first. No, I said before that I was tonight, actually, I was interested in the sporting bit, but we'll go to it. So let Jamal pull on most of the papers. Why can't I joking?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah.
Now good afternoon, Jamal, and welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me. Sorry for the technical breakdown I have. Oh, guys, this is the newspaper from the New Republic. This is talking about the 131 executive order signed by the president. So the newspaper is carrying that. Baka is not joking. So like people have been making a lot of statement here. The newspaper is taking to the level that this is a serious matter. If you look at the past leaderships from the for Ellen government to Weir government, they were like kind of let their sleeping dog lie. And this is why the newspaper is referring to Baka is not joking. In the Liberian English, Baka not joking. So that means he's not joking. So he meant business. I think I also support the statement of my colleague here, Francis, that we should applaud this. This is a good step forward. And whatever Paul is worrying about, it should be in his lifetime. It shouldn't be in his lifetime. I mean, we all come to this part of the world. People build this community, these world countries, these developed countries, they left for generations to take over. You don't expect it to bear the fruit right now. You benefit from it right now. I think there's a process in place. We must applaud that, and we agree that this is what Liberian people want. Many people may not want. I mean, the New Dawn newspaper read a story. There was an article that says that the word I like to quote from that New Dawn newspaper says the past government don't want to boom around with unimaginable circumstances, so they let the sleeping dog lie. So that is the situation. The past government did not want these things to come up to life. So for the fact that they may cause some problem. Now you heard a caller coming in saying why he does not like it, and you giving us some reasons why Baka is alluding to this. I mean, we all going to have different opinions in this, but generally 80%, 70 to 80% of Liberians want this to happen. So I think this is why the newspaper is talking about. Baka is not joking, and we should take him serious. So that will be my comment on the newspaper, gentlemen.
So before we go to the next newspaper, to just add to what Jamal said, I remember quite recently when Yeka Koluba was coming often to the media, they had this video passing around with this old man. She said, but Bwaga da baby. So Bwaga not joking, Bwaga not baby.
Yeah, but again, let me get maybe my comment on these people. Again, I will tell Paul that he should build hope, because like I said, I'll go back again some 2-3 weeks ago. I sat here with 3 people against me supporting the fact that Bwaka will sign this thing, and 3 people said no, he will not sign it. Now he signed something. And again, let me re-emphasize. I will emphasize over and over again using the whole negative, right? That the executive order was just a declaration that Liberia, the government, we Liberian people, we have agreed for a war and economic crimes code to come. So that declaration, everything that in that declaration is not a code itself. It's not what a code is going to operate by. It's not the intention to declare that yes, we have agreed. So Vaga could use one word. President Vaga could use one word and say, I agree. Finish. So should we say, oh, he represented him? So let's consider the fact that at least that idea has been welcomed and it has been accepted. And leave with the partners and whichever group will be set up to work on the modalities, as they said, to work it up after the example of other countries that have successfully had war crimes code before. So let's wait, let's give it a process of change. It's a process. This is not like
Okay.
striking one time and then all of a sudden you're gone. You can't have it to construct again. So I think Wakana joking, and I will give him credit for this one. The fact that he's the new president after almost 30 years, and we have 2, 3, 4 presidents. But he's the first president to sign it. At least he signed something, and he can be held responsible for what he signed because our international partners are involved, and he knows the consequences for lying to our international partners. That one I got to talk it.
Yeah, so Bwaka is informed of what he's doing and he knows
Right.
exactly what he's doing. So, Jamal, I see on this paper also it says CDC grades Bwaka, and then it talks about McGill secures the US 600,000 in budget or yeah. Do we have any details, any information on CDC grading Liberia from what context?
Yeah. For what content, CDC will all want to grade. It stands as one of the stronger opposition right now. And if you look at it, you don't. This is not going to be a strange thing. You expect them to come with a scorecard for Barca, and this is what they're coming up with right now with a scorecard, and they're grading Barca with performance level. Probably he has failed his performance. And this is what they're saying on this newspaper. And if you look at the other side, the Senator McLean receives or secures 600,000. That is for the hospital that was burnt in Margibi, J. Rainey Hospital that was burnt at Nagota fire. So he has received some fundings to reconstruct that hospital, to rebuild that hospital. The only big, I think, teaching hospital in that area, in Margibi. That's the reason we secured that fund. Only 2 stories on the front page. This is the reason. So for CDC, that's not a strange story. I think anyone can comment on that. You all want to be on the background and tell like Barca is not going anywhere. Giving consider to them when they have 6 years and they couldn't give any reason. I mean, we said decimal failure so far for the 6 years, and Barca was just not even gone 6 months here, and they already started grading him. So it's something like anybody can. It's just an obvious thing here.
Francis, you want to say something?
Well, I think we have said everything in terms of the war code. I mean, as it relates to the front page, the banner headline on our paper. Not joking. So I don't think we have. I want to go to speak about that again, because we know the seriousness of the issuance of the executive order 131. So would just be sounding we missed we're talking the same thing over and over. I did not read that the newspaper. I mean, CDC grades Barca. I don't know what it's opposition. So we don't expect anything that would be favorable in terms of the grade sheet or the card they intend to give the public in terms of broadcast performance within the 100 days. And it's a good thing that Senator McGill secured budget. In the budget, but the budget is about 700. Our budget is 700,000. So our budget is 7 million, right?
7 million.
700 million. Okay. 700 million, he managed to secure 600,000, almost $1 million. So Yeah, that's good. I hope that
That's
you have,
a little over $500,000.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so I hope that you will, that you have that money, and not just on paper, but I mean, actually have the physical cash. I mean, not him per se, but his, his office, or his county, his constituent that he represents. So he represents, so he can rebuild the hospital and equip it.
Yeah,
And
my
so
girl
that's
comes from
something.
the opposition, so I'm sure her voice and her colleagues have been strong in there to help him secure that amount. And it's also like an emergency funding. So I think it's not only from opposition stands that he secured that money. It's on the basis that the Liberian people at that area, deserve that because it's one of the major medical facilities there. So yeah, I
No,
think
no,
yeah,
no,
he
that time
also
is opposition. I spoke about CDC, not my gay. They are two different. CDC is opposition part. My gay's opposition, man. I mean, the people from my Kibi, they are Liberians. Also,
yeah, yeah,
they should
that
benefit. This,
exactly, yeah.
how,
So Jamal, do we have another paper? And
I think
before we
Paul
do we
has a
have another?
comment. Paul is around. You want to
You
comment on?
know,
Okay.
Jamal, thank you
Oh,
for
Paul
this.
hasn't. Sorry.
I love the hairline. This is the way people sell their paper in Liberia. In those are all that play football. There's something we call delayed tactics in football game. And all of these things, this beautiful thing about not joking nowadays. How on earth? Let's think on this carefully. Group of people, over 4, 5 senators that have been sanctioned for stealing, and they get war perpetrators in a house. We're so delighted to sign something. And in our own mind, and we're thinking that this is going to happen, this is another delay tactic. So, Linford, I agree with you. The content is good. It was good that it put pen to something, but don't bet on it. It's just a delay tactic to sugarcoat and rub sugar on our lips. It's not going nowhere. So I could come up with a headline tomorrow and make good money in Liberia, and I stand by my feet. We're not going nowhere. So let's move on to something else, and now we'll talk about the war crime thing on a. It's not going to happen.
Okay, so Paul is still disappointed in his long-awaited dream, but we have here the New Republic newspaper, and it says WHO chopped U.S. Oh,
you say, I mean, who chop?
who chopped who chopped U.S. 365,000, and
No,
the
now we're talking.
other one beneath it says judges, magistrates face Chief Justice Raft. And the other one says Senator Cyrus calls for cancellation of US 40 million contract. So who chopped US 365,000? The big question.
Yeah, I'll give some background to this story. Let's look at the top one. This the $365,000 money. That was for the inauguration of the President Barkai. This was given to the inaugural committee through the party, and each county electoral district should receive 5,000 each. So this story is talking about. The report is out. They have done an investigation. The report is out that somebody messed with the money, somebody tampered with the money. So what it did, according to this newspaper report, which they had a copy, that the report says $5,000 was supposed to be given to 73 districts across the country, and each should receive $5,000 to be part of the inaugural ceremony of the President Barkai. And what they did, they receive 4,000 each, and every time when they issued this, they gave out the money, they took off $1,000 from each of the 5,000. Not only that, the report says that the money was distributed not on the electoral district but on administrative district. So there was a funding from the report from this newspaper. So somebody somewhere tampered with the money. So that's the story. So the story is about $365,000 given by President Boakai to be given to 73 districts to be part of the inaugural program. And now this report there was a committee set up to investigate this amount. So if you see they got Luther, that's a Luther Tappe, who is the chairman of the Unity Party, and he was involved in all these scandals that have been around him, probably these funds, and he still denied that he has no idea things were done. The right way. So this is why he pictures his picture on the front page of the newspaper. So that's the background to the story, gentlemen.
And who are those judges and magistrates that are going to face Chief Justice Rapp?
That's a much of a story that I think it will drag us on in there. The only thing I found interesting right now was the $40 million contract being called for cancellation by Senator Saros of Lufa County. He has set up an investigation there was some the review of the contract, which he did not find very pleasing to the people of Lofa. So he called in for the cancellation of there are more detail to it, but what is happening, he felt that the contract signed by the company in Lofa is not to the benefit of the citizens. So he called in for the cancellation of the contract until there's something being done for the people of Lofa to benefit from that $40 million contract. But we're going to go in detail and find out which company is this and why does he really want this contract to be signed. He's calling for the cancellation of the contract, $40 million contract. A company in Lofa that is involved in this.
That's a good one. That's a good one for a lawmaker. So, guys, why is it? I have this question for us to talk about concerning this. Who chopped 365,000? It comes to my knowledge, right? I've noticed most of our religious leaders, some of them are stakeholders in development in our governing system in Liberia. Outside of government, they maintain their respect as clergymen, they maintain their character and integrity. But when they go forth in government, then they get tainted. Then you hear different things about them. Why? I've seen 2 different occasions or 3 now. Reverend Tappe is just one example, in as much as it is alleged. But I also knew that during Madame George Weah time, when our brothers in Islam were shifting some religious officials told the president, other religious advisor or something, it brought small conflict and all. And this person was well known in the community as well. By the time he took forth into that position, it didn't go 3 months. There were money issues behind him as well, the same way. Then we also saw Bishop Clay from the Oral Jubilee Church at RRA, the same way. You know, it also happened to the late, no, he's not late yet. He's ill. I think he's ill in the U.S., but he was member of the Church of Council, Liberian Church of Council, from the Episcopal Church. The same thing. So why are religious people becoming this way, guys?
You know, I will tell you something. I'm a devoted Christian Baptist, and I've been since 1978. But I will tell you something. Most of the corruption you see is mainly in the church. They say contribute or bring your tithes, pay your tithes, and give your offering. God loves a cheerful giver. The pastor receives all the money. You don't see where the money go. And I know even if God is broke enough, God will not beg us who he made to give him money. But these people will come and brainwash us, we give them all the little money we get. And then we don't see what happening to it. They say they use it for the work of God. But you will not know because they are behind the pulpit until when they come in government. The same thing they do in the churches, that's why they come in government and do. But this particular story is, I know a lot of people say I'm being blasphemous here when I talk like that, but that's the fact. Okay? God will not ask us for money. God gave, when we broke, we ask God, hey, God, please help me with job. God, please. Then he will turn around and ask us for money again. Is that possible? Or these people come and brainwash us. But the story is still a question. And let's not only focus on Reverend Tapper, but let's look at the other formula. Is that what name? She was the program committee chairlady, right?
Yeah.
So we should also consider her. This is a woman who came from, I mean, I haven't heard from the days she used to sing long, long time ago, someone was still crawling. Then all of a sudden, 2024, she comes during election, or 2023, she comes during election, and boom, she becomes chairperson for some program committee. And 365,000 raw cash hit the ground. We can't find it. So we got to question all of them. Not the Reverend Tapper. Got to question all of them. Where the other formula? Where has she been? What has she been doing for the past years? Then she just kind of made her program committee chairman. So I think the United Party needs to do their own investigation and find out because they had the money. And this same thing goes to the CPP. I can drag a CPP in here. We saw how 70,000 just went like that. And somebody was arrested when they get a person to the police, then all of a person we don't hear about the person anymore. So this thing will always happen where there is money, and this is the reason why a lot of broke people will always stick around. In fact, that broke people, a lot of thieves will always stick around government job because they know there is where they can get quick money and nothing will happen. The usual Liberian way. Okay, if this thing happens anywhere in Europe, 100 years you'll find out. But Liberia, everything for the CPP, in our own CPP already dissolved. Okay, and we finish forgetting 70,000 that young way later, and then 365,000. Then they asking who you're getting money to. Then you're asking who chopped it, who you're giving to. The person you're giving to, you're asking. Then you're asking which one we're supposed to be answering. In my Eugene from Gvernment that we supposed to tell you. Go ahead, Bob.
Okay. I see Paul is ready to come up. Paul.
No, the thing is, I just smiling with when Linford talk his CPP thing and all the. Look, Linford, get CPP out of this. This is United Party chairperson here. This is the people that came to power based on transparency, accountability, and clean hands. So leave the other people alone. If you come in with the mindset that, oh, we've been in government, we are the people with clean hands, and then we'll be transparent, we'll declare assets, nobody can see nothing. Then you ask in the newspaper, ask who ate the money. United Party have been a corrupt party before CDC came in, so there is nothing new, and that is the fact. So what the newspaper making that story to sell? Under the United Party, early led government was the most corrupt party. We know that, and that what brought CDC to power. And this is the truth. So leave the other people out of this.
No, I'm not giving you as an example how money can go and nothing happens.
So after the United Party was corrupt, CDC was corrupt, so that what brought United Party back to power. So when will
exactly continue?
So when will the CPP, ANC come to power now? So the position.
No, they're not there because we know now in Liberia that two stealing parties, when one leave, another one comes. So after United Party will be CDC. So we cannot bring the other people in because they never been in government or state. But
when will they bring people? The clean hair party a chance?
Paul, if you say that, then I will come on the side of not directly on the side of Francis, but I will also tell you that people who are watching or people who have been following the topic in Liberia politics will say, okay, but if the CPP was a government in waiting and they did not show us good character, you had $70,000 to use for campaign, and one person was able to lay hand on that money and run away with it.
Okay.
So what if when you become a government, what will happen? The same 365 was lost.
Individual person. The $70,000, the person that stole the money was arrested, was jailed, they went to court. It's not that nothing happened. In this case, who were Reverend Tappe arrested, went to court.
We heard
The
anything but that
United
money.
Party,
You just want
they
to
are
kind
the
show
two
that.
sleeping parties.
We
That's
heard
a fact.
anything but that money.
Yes,
I-
it was
I want-
investigated. The guy was
So
caught this
I'll be the Pandora box for the 70,000.
Let's
Right?
hear Jamal. Let's hear
No,
Jamal.
no, I don't want to talk about the. I think the question I'm looking at the newspaper is, they didn't tell her who disbursed the funds, and that's where the issue is, because who disbursed the fund, who took the $1,000 out of the 5,000 that should be given to the various districts. So there where the question is, so who chopped the money? Who chopped the 365,000? So we're still waiting. So, but Robert Tappe being there doesn't mean that he's the one guilty. He's being the party chairman. That's why the newspaper carries his picture. I mean, that's the newspaper will do that. But I just want to take you down to, I think, to the story of two other headlines on the front page, where you have that's the Chief Justice. I say well, I just had Senior. It's just difficult for me to pronounce her name. Something Yo. That's Justice Yo. She's coming over. I just want to take you to a different diversion right now. She's threatening to the judges and lawyers to be fined for not attending the National Law Day. On every 3rd of May, the National Bar Association of Liberia, or the lawyers, have the national. Most of the judges, magistrates, did not attend the event. So this is why she threatened to fine them why they didn't attend. So that day they want to celebrate the law of life. I mean, a kind of way of supporting the justice system in Liberia. So she's threatening to fine those justice and lawyers. The lawyers and magistrates did not attend the event. That's the background. And the issue of you asking me about the story of Senator Cyprus. There's a company called Contact in Liberia. Said they were given a right to pass a law to involve in business. I mean, some contract in Lofa County, and without passing through the due process of law. So the 54th House of did not process this particular contract. This is the reason he's calling for the cancellation of the contract. I'm just trying to give you no more detail on this if you want to talk about it. But for the issue of who chopped the 365,000, I mean, we know what the story is. So it was in the hand of the chairperson. I think it was between Miada Fambule and what's the lady name again? The former city mayor. What's her name? Mayor Brawl. She was also in a there was a brawl concerning where they were counter accusing each other. I don't think Reverend Tappe has anything to do with this, because he's on the front page because he's the head of the party. That's the reason he's there. So he's not the one that's responsible. But he did not even handle any money. I don't believe he did handle the money. So I don't think we should take that to the religious part, blaming the religious people being corrupt or not honest in their dealings. Because he carry revenue does not mean that we should taint all religious people, which I don't agree with.
Well,
let's hear you, Linford.
No. I'm just telling Jamal that, sometimes it's good to say some of these things. Most of the religious people are corrupt, and that's a fact. Not all of them. In every society, you have bad and good. So the good ones, we'll talk about them, and the bad ones, we'll talk about them. Not because they all wear the same uniform. The same way, when we were in grade school, if one of the students left with uniform on him and went in store, they'll say, oh, all the students there from that school can see. So, that's why and these are people who should be role models. So we look at them, the society look at these people, and that people are going to go and grab and see anything they grab in the DB on Broad Street, they say they do one man. But if one religious man does it will reflect badly. So that's why we look at them as clean people, or people that the whole society is up to. That's why. But not that all of them are dirty-handed, no.
Okay, so do we have other newspaper, or should we flip to sports now?
You got newspaper, the Lawless Lawyers. This is regarding the May 3rd event. There was another issues that was it was a commotion at the law when the speakers did not appear. The keynote speaker did not appear because I think his topic was about what I heard from the story. It's the same story. This comes from the Dailies newspaper. It says there was they call it the celebration of the Lord Day on the afternoon. I'm just reading from the newspaper. It says The indoor program meant to climax celebration of the Lord Day on the afternoon on May 3rd at the Pinsville City Hall was marred by disorder as tensions escalated among lawyers of Liberian National Bar Association over the absence of Councillor Jala A. Babu, the selected key speaker at the event. The message was Babu's absence being represented by the proxy ignited a commotion leading to a disruption during the event. So Babu came up with a topic. You want to speak about the establishment of the WECC. So that was they had disagreement of the topic for the lawyer, the keynote speaker. So because of that, there's a conflict among lawyers. So if you look at it, what you're looking at it right now on the screen is there was a tension. Police have to get involved and to calm the situation. So that's Lefa was saying we expect our religious leader to set an example. So lawyers were lawless. So what do you want to say about that?
Yeah, I think so far this is one of the newspaper caption that represents the exact action, the picture, what is being presented as per the picture. Picture has volume, it speaks volume. So the message alone from the picture and the caption can tell you that, yeah, something went on over there. But it's obvious that this commotion will have come about by any other speaker, not only by the Solicitor General or whoever took the topic, or the person who was selected to present the topic, the keynote speaker, because it is already a discussion in every community, on every radio, on every platform. It is a discussion with different kinds of views and sentiments as well. So, by the fact that you have a group of legal-minded people and all of them got their own political side that they align with. So by the fact that a keynote speaker, one of their own colleagues, will come up with this discussion, maybe it was agreed that the topic to present was something else, and he chose to present something else. I mean, it could be.
Let me give you the background. What is said, the newspaper says, according to our witness, told Dailies that the incident started after the proxy was introduced by the master of ceremony, MC, to deliver the Babu's prepared message on the theme. The theme was Mechanism to Establish the War and Economic Crime Code for Liberia. The pronouncement was reportedly greeted with mixed feelings among the lawyers, especially between Councillor Toure and Councillor Bento, whose actions caused serious pandemonium in the hall. So there was a disagreement between two lawyers with the topic. So he came prepared to give a speech.
He came prepared.
Jima, excuse me. Was it what the guy named the Baku or?
No, is Bento.
That's the guy, the lawyer.
That Jala A. Babu.
Jala Babu.
Jala Babu. So this is Toure said. Yeah, say pronouncement was reportedly greeted with when he made the announcement of the topic. This is he said his speech was mechanism to establish the war economic crime code for Liberia. Then the pronouncement was reportedly greeted with mixed feelings among the lawyers, especially between Councillor Toure and Councillor Bento, whose actions caused serious pandemonium in the hall. Toure told colleagues that he got into the heated argument with the Bible because of the latter Bible, a continued disruption of the proxy message. So somebody Bento did not want the speech to be read because he didn't like the topic. So they did not go on. So what we are saying here, if we're talking about an example, lawyers were lawless. So that's the question. That's the topic on the Dailies newspaper. Lawless lawyers.
No, it is a fact that particular the Gvernment, whoever were lawless, because the MC had announced the speaker and the topic or the theme of the program or the speaker's own topic, what he was going to speak on.
And the addition, sadly, just to add to you, they say the newspaper continued, efforts by the Liberian National Bar Association executive members to restore order proved unsuccessful, prompting the intervention of the Liberian National Police to mitigate the situation. Some of the angry lawyers, especially Toure and Bento, were escorted out of the hall by the Liberian National Police officers, enabling the proxy to continue with his keynote message. Chief Justice saying Yuan expressed concern over the lawyers' behavior, warning that their actions were damaging the legal profession's reputation, undermining the rule of law. The Chief Justice openly warned that such behavior by the lawyers was bringing the legal profession to public ridicule, which tends to undermine the rule of law.
Yeah, I was about to say that they disgrace all of their offices and their profession. But the fact that you have disagreement with a topic for a speaker to present does not mean you must be lawless. That's one. Number two, it's laughable because the police should be taking instructions from the lawyers. Instead, it was the other way around. The lawyers were taking instructions from the police. So she's right. They brought their office into public disrepute. And I mean, there's no other way to put it than the caption here, lawlessness.
And also, if it were other citizens or some ordinary Joe Blow that were doing that, what would the lawyer say? It was
you're right.
It was very simple that if the speaker came in with different topic or with a topic that you don't want to listen to, just walk out instead of disturbing the forum, you know. And so, but again, this is it. In a lawless society, anything can happen. Even the lawyers will be lawless.
Thank you. Let's move on.
Now, another story we have here is this, guys. This is probably you know about the city of Bento. Those who've been around, I mean, they know what Bento is. There's a city, it's a state of art, gigantic state of art. Is facility. This is of a technical vocational school. They call it the Gateway Vocational Training Center. That's why GVT stands for. So this is going to bring another almost VTC in Liberia, where they help our youth, our young ones that want to be apprenticeship, want to train. So this is a big thing. While we're talking about politics, we also look at the good side of what's going on in Liberia. This project was funded by the European Union to bring most of our guys to bring them to give them some skill sets. This was reported by dealers of our newspapers. That's a background to the story, guys.
Yeah, this
construction have been going around on social media and other platforms for a while. I read one article the other day that the owner was trying to make sure that he reached the time frame for, you know, cutting the ribbons of this particular facility. So yeah, this is good. This is good for Bento. And that's our capital, right? So such facility there makes it look lively and beautiful.
I think this is welcoming. It's good for the young kids as well, because this is good. Yeah,
it's good for the Zogos. You know, I mean, our disadvantaged youths. We can get a lot of them out of the street and put them here, and they can learn some skills.
And what they're saying that there's a report saying that about 620,000 skilled workers we will need in Liberia by 2030. So therefore, we want most of these facilities around the country.
Yeah. This is good. The news is welcoming. It's good. Yeah.
And it will be putting over every year I think 170 trainees in all disciplines, and skilled disciplines. So also, instead of us having a shortage of resources, trained resources in the country, human resources, this is going to help, including other facilities, existing facilities in Liberia, to help us bring some skills to our people in the country, and more especially it's in the city of Bento. That's another good thing. Bento is I know it's another center of attention right now. I don't know who's here has been to Bento, but I've not been. But things like Bento, since the late Talbot since the passing of Talbot, Bento has been out of the news for years.
Bento has. I've been to Bento before coming to Europe. I was there, I think 2 or 3 times. Bento is completely a forest area.
I think Francis and Linford will tell us much about what Bento stands for. What is really historic about Bento, guys? Probably people watching us. People watching us may not know what was Bento City. Those who've been around were born after the war in Liberia in 1989 will not know what Bento City is. So you guys will give us some background information. What is all about Bento City? And
the original name for Bento is Bensonville.
And then, that's the capital of Morovia. I mean,
and then Tower tried to change it or to add his name. So it's Bensonville, and Thorwald. So Benton.
Yeah.
Francis, Francis, why are you laughing?
I mean, it sounds like I mean, people missing that bring, and it sounds funny to me because the way he says it. He said, Ben, you put it Ben. Why you not put William Tower? You have to Benson, that's a bit
Benton, yeah. Benton. And then Tower had a mansion. The last time this boy, I think some Liberian blogger was it the guy from Information Ministry. They went there. I think Tower House is big. It's already it remain the forest. Already in the forest. Can you imagine?
I remember around 1977, 78, we used to go there, and Bento was Bento. We used to go there, kids. We used to spend time around the president's house, and I think go and drive there and come back. But I think that name, I cannot tell you where that name comes from because I don't know the acronym. I mean, Lincoln trying to create.
Yeah, no. Lincoln is right. That's the name.
Right.
Lincoln is right. Yeah.
But no, it's Bento. It's been Bento for a while.
So
it's been Bento. I mean,
it's a personal property of the.
No, Bensonville was Bensonville before, a long time ago, and that era it was actually around the Bensonville era. And it could be true that he added his turbo name there, but it was that era was Bensonville. And
Bensonville is the capital of Monserrado County.
Paul, you keep saying that there's any act in place that really make Bensonville the capital.
I mean, the seat of Monserrado County is
not Bento. It's Bento.
I'm just
Bento.
It's Bento.
Bentol. Bentol.
Yeah, Bento. Yes, Bento.
But no, there's a point here, guys. Paul was saying something. It's the city, the headquarters of Monserrado. No, Paul, I want to get for the benefit of those who are following us right now, those who are following us.
Okay,
are you saying? Are you telling us? Are you telling? No. I want to get it clear. Are you telling us Bento is the capital, is the headquarters of Monserrado?
Yes.
Or are you saying
100%?
No, but what's your Bensonville, Bento? Which one are you saying, guys?
So
Bento,
Monserrado County,
Bensonville. Bensonville.
But can we talk one at a time so we can get who's saying? Paul, go on, please.
While saying Monserrado County, the capital of Monserrado County is Bensonville. Historically.
Okay.
When Tobo settled over there, that's where that name came about, Bento.
Okay. Anyway, I was not around those days, so I don't know much about that. So I didn't even read any library history. I was in a village in Ima, so I didn't know much about Morovia, so don't ask me.
After the war, I remember that the MCSS used to run a program with schools in Monserrado counties and Monserrado County and Margibi counties. So they were taking students to always, because they had the history up to 1847, the history up to 1822, like that. They had two different history books. So they were always taking students from Monserrado County, going all the way there, from Morovia rather, going to Bento, just as Francis also did in the 70s, 79 or so. So, but I noticed up to 98, 99, they were not doing that anymore. So some of the young people today, you ask them where is Bento or where is Bensonville or even what is the capital of Monserrado, they will not tell you. People don't know. Yeah, but it used to help a lot of the students. I remember we even used to drive all the way up to Crown Hill. Students were going to Crown Hill and they tell them why was the monument erected up the hill there, the Matilda Nepo monument. Then they had another a landmark that we used to go to somewhere on one of the public schools, why it was constructed, in central Morovia there.
Yeah, but
those things
you don't need to take people there. What about those who What about those in those various counties? They don't have to come to Monrovia. Why can't they be taught in schools, like in history or civic or something like that? Why it's not? Is it service? If these things are taught in schools, students will follow because that's the system. It should be in the syllabus or the curriculum of the
But we
country.
used to have civics in school. They don't have it anymore.
And you have history as well. You have history as well. History as well should tell us much about these historic places in Liberia. You don't have to take the day. You got a sports story, guys.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we have something in sports. Linfa is going to bring it.
Okay, this is a Liberian guy. Actually, I didn't get his name, and let me I came across this thing on Facebook, and Philip Brown posted this thing.
Is he Matadi?
Yeah, and they won they came second place in a 4x4 relay, and they are in this place somewhere in South America, one of the islands, the Bahamas, right? And you got to know, know that if you people who follow track and field, all the people from the most of the countries from South America, like we saw Usain Bolt, the Bahamas and St. Kitts and Nevis, and all these boys, they do well. So if Bahamas is hosting this thing, and Liberia of all countries can come second to Germany in a relay, in a 4x4 relay, but the question, because I didn't watch it, so the question I wanted to ask was whether any of you watch it, and if you did, is America taking part? Because America, then for them to sit down there, Germany take first place, and then so, but like in the case,
America started there, Germany beat in the world basketball, what you call it?
Linfa,
yeah.
Do you know how many great athletes come from Germany?
Well, I know
Joseph Famula, the guy named Joseph Famula.
That's the name I meant to call Joseph Famula, and they preparing for the Paris Olympic. They're representing Liberia.
Yeah, so guys, I think the reason why we highlighted this thing is that Liberia is doing well. When we look at the political front, we see everything is like, every time we got complaints. But on the other side, I love sports, right? I love sports. When I sit down, I watch these things. And all the countries I can see, you can't even hear Liberia. Yeah? But all of a sudden, Liberia is coming. Even if 10 groups took place and we came 10 place, I'll be happy. The fact that we are taking part. But for us to even come second, I think we should look up to the Olympic. I think Liberia is going to do well. And all I can say is let the government of Liberia, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, let them put effort. Look, we got a lot of talented people in Liberia. Let them put effort and get these people going.
But Linfa, these guys took part in the last World Championship. They represented Liberia in the World Championship. I think 2 years ago, and they were representing Liberia in the African Championship. They're all based in America.
Yeah, I know.
And so they have made strides in terms of putting Liberia on the map. On the athletics map. They have done a lot.
I think one of the
Famula has done a lot. I think he came third or fourth in the last 100 meter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the impediments, one of the reasons why they had other talented people. My nephew, my sister's son, my sister's daughter's son, the little boy, I used to go to America 2006, 2007, he was small boy. Now he's big man, the man drink track. So he asked me, can I come to Norway? I said, no, why you can't go run for Liberia? He said, what would they give me? He said, I tried in the American system, but in the American system, you got to get somebody to push you. He's an American. But, they got big names, man. So for somebody there to kind of go there, not easy. So he wanted to make a debut somewhere. And the little boy, when I told him about Liberia, he said, first and foremost, I'm not born in Liberia. So if I go there, the people will not even look at me. See? So if the government can put in resources, instead of taking $365,000 to go give it to some group for inauguration, promote the country. This thing can put a country. Some people see Liberia for the first time. Look, there is a program. There is one little boy who was doing some video stuff. He had a Liberian flag, and he was asking people, the classmates, I think at some university, which country flag is this? And some people look at it and say, it look at America, but it's not America. So we don't know. And nobody could recognize Liberia. Simply because we don't participate in some of these things. So the next, I don't know what any of you guys need to say, but the next,
Yeah, before you go further, I just want to talk about, I don't know we talk about this. It's a shame that we're talking about sport in Liberia right now when we had the president that was a world legend in terms of sport. We're not talking money some. These guys, like Francis was talking about, most of them based in the US, they are doing it because they love Liberia, because of their heritage, they got Liberia. But the government of Liberia is that what we should be saying on this platform right now, tell the government of Liberia to put more funds, more attention into sports. You see, there you find sport, whether you're from the political party, from the ethnic group, from the religious, we meet and unite to support the country. But it's a shame we couldn't even qualify for any African nations competitions, major competition under George Weah when he has the world record. Then you're telling me like these guys, they put in people on the map. We shouldn't be saying this thing, gentlemen. We shouldn't be discussing this thing. What we should be talking 170 some more years old. We don't find our level to any sporting level. You're talking about where we should put Liberia on the map. Some are showing Liberia, or they can't recognize Liberia. It's a failure. The budget's passed right now. Ministry of Youth and Sport has a lesser part to play. What is the unifying the country? Let's give credit to Samuel Kedo. What did he do for Liberia? During George Doe period, we all know what happened for football in general. One of the leading sports we have in Liberia. It was very unifying. And now you can't George Weah. You talk about Liberia, if it's not Chancellor or Michael Jackson music, it's about George Weah. Then you can't even have those Wafu Cup, you can't even have one. Not talking about African Cup of Nations. We should give credit to the young lads that are coming up to say that they will go to represent Liberia when they don't even know what Liberia is. This is what we should be discussing, gentlemen. Telling the Liberian government, stop doing political noise, put funds into the youth, we build them up, push something. It will unify the country. It will push it, bring a lot of development, and people will focus. This is my take on this. It's a shameful thing we discuss in sport in Liberia and we don't do anything so far. We are the oldest in the country, in the continent, doing nothing so far, nothing progressive. It's a shame. It's a big shame.
Oh, Jamal, you just made my day, The young generation of Liberians that oversee our children, grandchildren, they will do something better for that country. Our generation, the generation I come from, is the lost generation in Liberia. What am I saying this? It's the generation that have just said, oh, we're graduating from high school, Civil War broke out, oh, we'll go back to work. It never happened. We are the lost generation, and we have the bunch of crooks that came in to just rob the country of everything. Now, after you made me sad, you come and made me happy. You just showed my counter just now and then you took it down. What's wrong with you?
And not to, in fact, it was named Chief. I'm sorry, I'm not quite disrupting you. We had a World Cup that went on in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Your president's son was, I had nothing to all respect. And he went and spent 50 some more days in there, like taking our money, spending 2,000 a day, his pocket money, 2,000 a day. He was in America over a month with a large entourage. He was not even playing for Liberia. Then we talk. He was not playing for Liberia. He spent over a month inside. It's a disgrace. We're talking about sports here. We should be doing something. We should be giving credit to those guys there, guys.
Okay, guys. So let's go to
before you put my beautiful country, let me just lay on what Jamal just said. President of a country, your son cannot play for your country, to play for another country, and you spend thousands of Liberia. That guy have always been a disgrace, and I hope Liberians should not make the same silly mistakes to bring that incompetent guy back into government, because that's the narrative now people pushing. There are two parties still pushing in Liberia. Two corrupt group of people that does not mean well for Liberia. This is the time that goes to look at it. Now, that is my county, River G.
When the country list started, and then I heard all the countries' name, there were a few countries I was thinking about. I thought about Nima, I thought about Bong, maybe Lufa and Monserrato County.
Thank you.
What's that? Okay, but as the league progressed, and then all of the big names I was thinking about started falling, Then I was like, wait, now what's going on? And then all of a sudden, or David will come from behind to kill a Goliath. So, but the interesting thing about this victory for Riwaji County is that I got to know so many people who have been known for years. Or I know they come from maybe Mosraro County or some other county or some big countries in the southeast, but they come from Riwaji. So how? Because Riwaji won us, so all the
No, but that cop is technically from Maryland and Grand Gila, yeah?
Why?
Yeah.
Why is it so?
Why is
That cop is technically from Maryland County and Grand Gila. Because when I told you that when they chop, Eddie chop Maryland and chop Grand Gila to make it with G because of political accommodation. Because her best friend Madina, we said when they couldn't find government job for him, so they created our county to be senator there. So
come there, we said.
No. I think he gave you a wrong history here. And I'm from River G. I think I can talk my county here, not you. So
where to Raji from?
Listen, the story he just gave is not true.
Lord Cholople,
River G County. Yeah,
where were
it's
you
not true
before?
because I'm from the Africa Weekend, so I'm in the best position to talk of my county. So,
but what were River G? What were you? No, before
Ellen Johnson Salif. Before Ellen Johnson Salif, were you a Marylander?
Where were you part of?
Now, let me explain to you. This is how
historically before that county was created, where were you part of?
Maryland County.
It was called the Lower Grand Gila County. So, to get it right, it was called the Lower Grand Gila County. I'm from Lower Grand Gila. Follow history.
Fishtown. Where was Fishtown? Where was Fishtown located?
It's the same place Fishtown located, still located, the same place, nothing changed. Yeah.
Fishtown was located in Maryland County.
No.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
No matter how Riwaji were created,
no, but
every one of us
were created from something. The whole thing here.
Yeah, every one of us were created from something. We look at the achievement.
If you come from Plevo, there's a boundary there where you go to Fishtown, where it starts from. So don't say that whole region up to Sano, Grand Cru, and Grand Gila, that's the circle of River G. And in the old days, the people from the seaside of Maryland, they say the Bush Global and the seaside Global. Remember that war? So the boundary after Plevo. So don't get the whole thing confused here.
So guys, Paul, leave our God against the Paul. Take her into perspective here. When River became a county, where they were part of, so people who listening will follow instead you by defending here. This is what the brother made a point. You tell her, like for instance, what
River G was given because of Mandela. We said early, no, it's not. The negotiation of River G County, it started back from Samuel Doe.
No, it started 1970s. It was in 1997.
When Doe was in
Doe was not around 97.
Yeah,
Samuel Doe.
But the whole issue started coming up in 1997, and they were approved in 2000. We know that it was approved. It was part of Grand Gila, Lower Grand Gila. We know that for sure.
I'm taking into Samuel Doe, not 97.
Okay.
Samuel Doe came into power 1980. And they were petitioned for River G to go as a county. Samuel Doe blockade, and this go back to Chair Chipo days that were fighting for River G County. So it went all the way back. When Taylor came to power, the petition, they also asked Taylor, and Taylor promised to give River G that county status. So it's not something that they just started that Ellen Johnson came to power because Mandela, we said no. So it's something that always been ongoing. That's something they've been fighting for. Because what happened?
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
At the end of the day, Paul, let me come in.
So,
at the end of the day, even we used to have 9 counties. Now we get 16 counties because they had to create extra 7.
Absolutely.
Okay, all the territories begin county, Magbi territory begin county, Bapolu, all the kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so let's forget about how they were created. Everything was created from something. But the question here is,
That's right.
how did they come to prominence in football this quick?
In terms of football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's Paul. I'll help you out there. That's the obvious question. I mean, answer for it. It's investment. The people of Gvernment invested into the county meat, so they want. That's it. Simple as that. What do you want to hear?
Let me provide further information as well.
But River G have produced a lot of good players. You don't know about that? The ball charge, the car jabble, they offer River G. You don't know that? You say hi.
River G has some good players, young promising players as well. But quite recently, Linford has a good question. Quite recently, and Jamal answered it rightly. Quite recently, River G took one of their teams to come to the county meet. That team did not do any well. They took that same thing back and trained the young players for the last 3 to 4 years now. The same old faces. Only a few players just joined that team. I think the goalkeeper is one, and the coach is another new person on the team. But a lot of the people have played together for up to 4 or 3 years. And that created a team that they understood each other. At certain time, if you watch their game after the first half, because pretty close to the end of the first half, from around 37 minutes, they were messing up when Lofa scored. So they went to the first half, they went down to the first half, not performing as the early stage when they scored their goal. When they came back, you saw the same way Lofa was playing the ball on the right flank. River G took the same kind of start. They were only looking for their 3 key players now. So everybody had is either on the left or the right, and then straight for the striker. So they were using that tactic all through the game, and it achieved. So they have a good team currently.
Thank you very much.
I can modify my question.
Let me add to what
Jima said.
It's obvious.
Let me add to
it's obvious.
The reason why I asked the question, Jima, and the rest of you guys.
Paul, leave on want to modify a question. Paul, wait now. We want you to defer River G. I know you want to defer your county. Let Linford modify his question.
Something guys just said, I know Linford will come with a question. I just wanted to ask what guys were saying. That's all.
Yeah, you see,
85% of those boys that play for River G, they are from River G. That's also making it interesting. I just wanted to add that there.
What is?
And the reason I asked the question, how did they manage, is because usually they county meet. You hear Yapalo playing for Grand Basso County. When Yapalo Solo be coming from Lofa or Bon County.
Oh no, don't say that. Don't be saying this. No. I will hold you there. Why are you saying that? You're taking it to a different level. You have to be Yakoro before you play for Bon County. That's what you meant to say.
Okay, but I'm still modifying my question.
Okay, we modify. That's not the right way, my
most
brother.
Most of the players will come from different country, but because they want to play, and then one country will take them. They have not been training together. The point that guy made, that this team have been training together, but because they know one good player was in Grand Basso, and then one country, my country, want to win the game, they say, my man, don't go for that man from Basso, don't go take him, then can play for on contract. So then you find out that there's no coordination. The same thing your Luster can do it. They lay ball there on the ground, they practicing to West Point every day as Luster. When the time for game, then you go bring them one motor there from Barcelona, you bring them when they can't even hold the ball because they have no ball, they get a thing. That's why I asked what is the secret they use? So that's the modification I want to make.
And what happened, because if you play for your county with self-pride that are from this county, that's where the momentum came from. They did it from themselves because it never happened before. So 85% of them actually came from that county. So you hear the toll, you hear the weir, you hear this. They put that sacrifice in. And also the funny, to my amaze, this woman called Fina Bono, who worked in Kawiken, who sold bread in Kawiken for many years, also sponsored the team. She
This
did
is the
extremely well.
Paul. I think Paul. I think you should have said this earlier. All these things you're talking
Of course,
about,
no,
sporting,
Francis took me all of Francis took me all
sporting,
of content.
sporting in general is about putting funds in the commitment.
Yeah.
If you do that, I mean, I don't also want to go with what Linford is saying. Why they take somebody from Boston playing for Nimba, from Montreal playing for Grand Gita. Those things are Liberians are Liberians. Whatever you take them from. No, I come in now. No, you say you can recruit. No, you couldn't recruit from anywhere. You sounding trouble. You sounding
The
like
point I'm
a.
making is that because I can play good, I'm from Paso. I not even see the lower team before, but because I can play good, and time for the game, they say you go bring that limb for then can play for. I have not been playing with that team. They didn't even know how I can play. I don't know how they can play. I'm not saying that we all like bro. I can decide to play anywhere. I can live anywhere in the country.
So, Linford, let me say this. Let me say this to answer you to that point. What the Ministry of Youth and Sport and the government of Liberia has done in the last years for the county meet, there are regulations. Example, a player playing in the Liberian professional levels is not allowed to play twice in the county meet. Example, you're playing in the Premier League in Liberia, or you're playing first division, you will not play twice. So that you can give.
What do you mean by you will not play twice? What do you mean by that?
You can play more than 2 seasons. Like this year county meet, you have future for one county. The next county meet, even if you have future for another county, but as long as you have played.
Now the question comes to you again with one Linford, which I want to raise up here. They are taking Liberians from abroad to play in Lone Star every football encounters. Why are they not regulating that?
That one is the national team. I think that one is the national. The reason they did it,
but Linford is saying that they should give the young ones in Liberia the opportunities also to grow with the team. One, they play with the team from like West Point area. They've been practicing throughout, having a beautiful practice. Then at the end of the day, when it's time to play, they will bring somebody from abroad and play for Lone Star. That's what Linford is saying. That's the point you're raising here. And we've seen that continuously happening in Liberia. When the young ones in Liberia have been trained with the team, at the end of the day, some have been doing well, and some around in Manchester City or playing Arsenal Liberian. We saw it with people like, you guys know, I can't even name them. You bring them every year. They bring them every year.
Jamal, that one is all over in football. It's all over in football. The professionals and semi-professionals cannot be compared. I play football. You all know it. They cannot be compared.
But then, okay, it's fine.
I think what we should look at before we close up, the county may have shown us that it's a possibility that the National League of Liberia, they should now start considering the county meet to be the National League of Liberia.
Yeah,
because if you do that, you spot a lot of talents in those villages and towns around Liberia. Because most of the guys that play in the county mean they're from the Monrovia area. Think about it. There could be another George we are sitting now all in Bongo Jile that nobody knows. But if the county meet become the National League, every child want to play for their county, and it will be a good thing for the National League that people will follow. I'm sitting now in London here, imagine cheering River G. Everybody just tune in. So they should consider something like that. Although they say it's the president game that to unify the country, but I think youth and sport and FA can come together and do something to have this as a national league. So we got Premier League in Liberia. If you take 5 of the best teams from that Premier League, blend it with the county league, the new national league, I think it'll be a good thing for everyone.
Okay, guys, I think our time is fast.
Sounds good, but there's a lot of issues involved because sports as a whole is a business, and the county teams will not be doing business You'll not be mixing politics. The counter meet in totality is politics by itself because it's entertainment meant for unification, but it's for the president's own entertainment as well. So you can mix it with business.
I think
It's difficult to do. It's a good
I
idea.
agree, but time move on. People move with time.
Yeah,
When
I don't know,
Donald
Paul.
did that 1957 or something, I mean, for Christ's sake, man, look, imagine the money they generated from T-shirt merchandise.
Yeah, what Paul's saying. Paul, you sounding like you're not in this age. Like what God said, I know to just add to what you're saying. It sounds so good, but it's not something to do with in this generation. Football is a business in general. I mean, sport in general. A county does not even have the fund for themselves for development. We're talking about sport development. We're talking about people. We need to bring in. Listen, Paul. We need to bring in people to invest into our sporting activities. We need to bring in people to develop those youth, their skills. And it has to be business. You can't be county business because county business will not be a good business. In fact, what they have now, I'll come in, Paul. I'll come in.
I say National League.
Yeah, but it'll be from the county. It'll be from the county level, right?
It's from the county level.
Every from the county level. So what do you do? They can't even put. They don't even. They don't have the chance of bringing in solar light.
Hold on. Let me ask you. Have you
solar
ever
light
watched the Premier League in Liberia playing? Have you ever watched their game?
Of course, I've done it. I've watched the game.
All right. When you go, how many? If you watch a game in Liberia, if you have 25 person watching that game, that's a plus.
Yeah, but you see, it had a lot of Paul. Right? Don't look at it from that perspective.
For you, I've watched a lot of games in Liberia. 25 persons, less.
Yeah, Paul, it has to do with
I got one side of it there.
No, but what I want to tell Paul, God, is like, you know what they do with football? It has a total, that's why it's a package, a business, a promotion, publicity, a lot of things involved. It's not only like a few people going in. Why is it that people in Africa are watching too many European games? Why is that? Because the TV right, they charge the promotion, the stars are involved, the money involved. This is what all about. It's not only about
that.
Yeah, but this you don't even
you in Liberia, the business side, you're not looking at it. Take example, Grand Jeddah County, that's a national league. It's not like 4 months something. The national league, Grand Jeddah County going to Lofa County. People that are leaving from Grand Jeddah to travel to Lofa County to go watch, they're going to buy, they're going to pay that merchandise, that promotion for them. But some kind of thing they call Mamere SWAT team that you never heard of.
Paul, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, Paul. Let's make River G a case study. As per your idea now, maybe we had a county meet as the National League and River G won, and they are giving them $10 million. Who do you think the $10 million will go to?
The $10 million will go to the Sports Commission of River G to build a stadium.
So who has been sponsoring the tournament that River G participated in? Is it national government or River G?
No, now you see it become political.
Can we protect another time, guys?
That's what I'm saying. So you gave that to the FA that will run just how they run the affair of the National Football League, because the National Football of Liberia is not even attractive. I'm being honest. You go watch them play 8-tier stadium. If you see 20 persons, then a bonus.
There are a lot to it. There are a lot to it. It's not only. It's a lot of things. It's a total package to make it attractive, Paul. It's not only.
So before we wrap up, also since we're on sports, I also want to reference the energy from the female team of Riverside County. They were victorious in the county meet finals against Lofa County, and they did very well. I engaged their sporting officials today, and I hope that we can conclude that we can have them here to see what kind of tactics and what kind of strategy they put in place so that we can learn from that. And maybe River G also would be fortunate to learn from that and have their kickball team coming as victorious in the county meet.
I guess
okay.
That's good.
So guys, well done. I think we've closed. This is the first time that we've gone this, over the mark, and but it was it. the information was correct, and we want to thank our viewers for being so patient to be with us all this long. Without you, we cannot be here, and without us, you cannot be here. So I want to say thank you to the team. Francis left. We have Jemar, Paul, and Gad, and myself. It's now time for us to take our leave, and we're going to be back here on Tuesday. But guys, on Friday.
Paul.
Yeah. But just before we leave, last Friday was International Press Freedom Day, but we forgot to pat ourselves on the back, and we hope that all journalists around the world, all press, all media institutions will have that freedom to operate and operate freely, and we should also be able to disseminate the information correctly. We should not only enjoy the freedom, but we should do the work correctly. I just want to close on that note. And on that note, we want to say have a nice day and join us in the weekend on Friday for another fresh edition of the program, The Bottom Line Liberia.